Welcome to Muddies, everybody. It is time for Flock University classes in session. We got the Flock in the house. What's up, Flock? Hey. We have the one and the only head coach, the general manager of your still undefeated Albany Firebirds, Damon Ware, everybody. Hello, Professor Ware.
Hello. Glad to be here.
I once heard a presidential candidate say, we're going to win so much you're going to get sick of winning. Have you gotten sick of it yet?
I don't think I ever will.
Are we still spelling win? Fun win? Is that what we're doing? I can't even do it. See, that's why he teaches and I talk.
You know, that's been a line for many years. That's in the first meeting. How do you spell fun? W-I-N. That's truth. You know, we put in so much time and effort. Again, it's no fun to lose. So that's why we put in the effort that we do. We put in 8 hours a day to make this team be what it is, and we have fun afterwards, and that's a good thing.
Wait a minute, you're working less hours? You're only doing 8 now?
That's with the players. That doesn't include my time. That's completely different. But
I say that knowing that right away we saw hi good people from Nani, the other coach, the other one right there. So Nani says hi to the Flock. And then we opened with our sponsor, Coach Ray. He said, hello, Flock, Jeff, and Goat. RNC Dealer Services. We got production value now, man.
Exactly. Got the commercial up. We're rolling. And yes, thank you, RNC Dealer Services, for sponsoring Firebirds Media Network.
That's very, very cool. We appreciate that very much. Very happy to be back here at Muddies. We always love being here at Muddies. I'm sorry. Normally I don't go right to the Flock, but Jeff Nelson going squatching. Like I'm here for that.
I like it.
Ben Nelson, if you know that Jeff guy, make sure that you use that line as much as possible for this week coming up. We're live here at Muddies. It is time for Flock University. The Professor Damon Ware is here, and Professor, you held court down there in Beaumont, Texas. The Renegades. I will say there were moments where I thought the Renegades looked like they had a little bit of growth on the field against you. They are a championship organization, but the Firebirds win it 55-27. Long trip down, long trip back. Tell us about the game. What did you learn about us? What did you learn about them?
Yeah, like I said, the whole point was for us to welcome all the champions into the AF1. So that was fun to start with Minnesota, and then second game being Beaumont. So playing at their house, they had a brand new field. Their field was just gorgeous. It was just first class. And their people down there were so nice. It was almost eerie that everyone was being too nice. And so
take a left, Amy.
So I was like, this is weird a little bit, but, let's get to the game. They had a lot of really good players, and you just never know, coming from another league, different rules, those kind of things. But they have two very experienced AFL coaches on their staff. So you would just expect there to be some wrinkles that obviously we'd have to, make some adjustments to. But the offense came out firing, the defense came out firing, and we were able to jump up 21-0, which was just huge and kind of insurmountable to come back from. But our defense, our young defensive line is just playing phenomenal. I was standing there at the wall and looking out, and I just kind of looked to the side, and I was like, God, we have some really good looking kids. I mean, they looked like $1 million. It looked like a Rolls Royce on the field, and they were getting after it. And so, their quarterback is a quality athlete. I mean, he ran some awesome touchdown runs from long distance. He was super athletic. And so we really had to spend some time, stay in our rush lanes, make sure he stayed in the pocket and keep him from running. And he was still able to run a couple touchdowns, but our defensive front just got so much pressure. Also offensively, again, it's tough sometimes. You see some of these other teams scoring more points, but we're taking less than 40 snaps. And we went through this process a little bit last year. Our first 2 games, we've had less than 40 snaps in both games. We put up over 50 points, which is obviously very efficient. We scored every single drive except for one where we had a turnover, which was a learning moment for our young quarterback. But Josh is just elevated from week 1 to week 2, and that's all you can ask for a rookie. And we really feel good about Josh's development. He's doing a phenomenal job. And again, he definitely could be the future. We'll see what outside people, come calling, but we're just going to keep developing the guys that are here, guys that love the brand, guys that love to come to work. And those are the kind of guys that we have here. It's just guys that want to work and they want to put themselves in a position to get out of here. And so just a good overall game, played well on special teams. We played good offensively and defensively and got out of there with a win. These trips are long. It's us hanging out together, having dinners together, having lunches and breakfast together, and you learn a lot about guys. Things that you don't really know, and that's what I love the road trips early. And so we've got 2 more long trips to go. So we'll continue to develop, continue to build that camaraderie, and just continue to hopefully come back with the wins.
You had mentioned the field. Is there anything weird about playing football on a red field?
No, it was beautiful. I mean, just the way it gripped. Again, it's a brand new field, and it was second to none. It just, your traction was good. Everything was just second class. It was perfect though. Like I said, for what we wanted.
All right, so you go down, you get another victory, and I know you are a very competitive human. Like when I see the Michael Jordan meme where it's like, and I took that personally. I feel like you'll never admit that you take things personally, but the thing you challenge yourself with other things. When you see other teams score more than this team, where does that register in the motivational archives of Damon Ware?
I mean, of course it does. It's, you see the posts out there and, people exalting other people and pretending that they're better than us already, that haven't played us. Like I said, that's always the frustration is every year we change players and you just got, you media people. I mean, not you, but the media people.
It's me. I'm annoying. I get it. That's fine. That's fine.
And again, that just think that our standard lessens because we change people's, names on their jerseys. And what makes us special is the name on the front. We're the Firebirds. And that's, I don't know why people underestimate us or why that they, don't think that we're as good as we are every single year. I think we've proven that we are the standard and that we work harder than everybody else. And we're gonna compete for championships every single year because we do the little things that nobody else wants to do. So, I take a little bit of offense to it. They're exalting other people. They're, again, some teams scored some big points and they're getting all excited, but you just haven't played us. I mean, let's be real about it. You haven't played us, and there are some very good teams in this league, and we'll see how those games shake up when we face each other. But ultimately, we're still the champ, and at the end of the day, they say if you want to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. So we're looking forward to every single game. We want these matchups. We can't wait for the matchups against, and we hope some of these teams stay undefeated. So when they play us, that they're still undefeated. So.
It's a nice way of saying be careful what you wish for to a lot of these squads. But three reigning champions going into this season: the reigning champion of the AF1, the Albany Firebirds, the reigning champion of other leagues. You have now beaten all the other reigning champions. So, as Gaz would like to say, speaking of annoying media people, my co-host on Fox Sports. So we're now the lineal champions, correct? Like until somebody takes us off the mountaintop, and I say us, I play very hard, guys. This road trip was very tough on me being home. Do the guys feel that? Is it a pressure? Is it a pride thing? What do the guys feel knowing that the mountaintop is very tiny and everyone's climbing up to come after us?
I mean, if you see our shirts that our guys wear, it says standard over everything. And that's what you come here for. It's to live up to this very high standard. That's what it's all about. So we honestly believe every year that we're going to compete for a championship. It's not lip service. It's not us wishing. We have a system that we've developed that we love, and the people that we recruit, the way that we practice, the way that we do things, those are the reasons why that we've been successful. So yes, is it a pride thing? The thought of continuing to be undefeated, obviously, who would not want to be undefeated? It's not often in your career you get to say you went undefeated. It's a very rare thing that happens. It's not the norm. It's not, you don't see tons of teams going undefeated. It's very few. But that's the challenge that we've got to set. The one thing that I will not allow this team to do is get complacent. Winning last year has no bearing on this year. Zero. So we were undefeated last year. That's last year. Last year's over. We have different people, different things. So we've got to attack every day the same way we attacked it last year. That's the thing about, what our coaching staff is doing is we're making sure these guys do not get complacent, that they stay motivated, that they stay working hard. And that's where we're at is we are very motivated. And there's a lot of people on our team have never won a championship. So the motivation is there. The coach's motivation's there. We just, like I said, we're just getting started. There's a lot for us to get better at. There's a ton of things that on that film was not good enough. It wasn't to the standard that we want. So we're only going to get better. We have a rookie quarterback who's doing a phenomenal job. How cool was it for, him and his brother to win, co-offensive players of the week? I mean, how cool to be Mr. Kolka, the dad. Both my kids are, on a post that they're, offensive, co-players of the week. Just an awesome time. And so, like I said, for all intents and purposes, there's so much to play for. There's so many good things going on in the league. There's so many, you look at all these brand new fields coming, you look at great ownerships, you look at all the things that are going on in our league. Man, I'm super excited to be a part of this and just can't wait to keep playing again. So like I said, Friday we'll be back on the road and we've never got to face Oregon. I just called their coach, about an hour before the show and, seeing what they were wearing in the game and those kind of things, kind of check in with them. And, we've got a very, funny banter back and forth, but at the end of the day, we were super excited to face each other. We haven't faced each other. So we've been in the same league for 2 years. We haven't faced each other and that's big. And I'm super excited. He's super excited. Hey, we pulled out all the stops. We're going to make sure the game day is going to be flawless. We're doing extra stuff. We've got our cameras going. We got everything going. We want to be great hosts. And I just love hearing that because that's the same way I feel when somebody comes to Albany is, other than, you losing the game, we're going to be very hospitable and we're going to take care of you. And so I loved hearing that from another, coach and owner that is happy to have us there and is going to pull out all the stops. So we have a good time when we get there. So I'm super excited. And Oregon, here we come.
Flock University live from Muddy's. Like we don't have, we don't have fans. We have Flock. We have family. We don't have supporters. We have family. Muddy's is family. And I saw Chef M hat walk in. What are the guys like? Tell me another team that you've ever been a part of that when they get back from a long road trip, there's chef crafted box lunches waiting for them.
No, nobody's getting treated that way. And that's why we are the standard. I mean, how cool is that to get off a long trip and be greeted with a chef's box? I mean, what else can you ask for? To the way the Flock shows up and provides, whether it's dude wipes or Gatorades or waters or whatever it is to make your stay good. We have a place that everybody, and I mean everybody, there's not any player I call that doesn't have their eye on coming here. And so, and it's part of everybody. It's our ownership. It's down to our equipment manager. It's the Flock. It's all of these things together is what make Albany a special place to play.
Absolutely. And you guys are I'm not going on the Oregon trip, even though Coach Jones and I that may be why I'm not going on the Oregon trip is the last time I hung out with Coach Jones. I think I will tell you, I was looking better the next day than he was. I'm just going to tell you that I listen, everybody's got their skill. I'm a rabbit. You get me in a bar and the hounds will chase and they're going to get worn out. But they got a good defense. I mean, as you look, obviously I would say, especially with what Drew Singleton did this week and what our defensive line has done with Coach Cisse, at the main helm and Coach Hobbs with the secondary, our defense looks better than I think we've ever looked, which is saying something considering how good they were last year. Yep. But when you see Oregon's defense, what challenges do they present for your offense?
I mean, again, they've got a lot of players that we know. Freddie Booth is a guy that we've played against and was here for camp.
By the way, my dentist says hi, Freddie. They loved you. He needed dental work when he was here, and my dentist took care. Dr. Dreer took care of him. So they loved him. They loved him. We had, Alice Gross here in camp and let him go at the end of camp, and he's there. So there's a lot of familiar faces. They've got some really good players. They've got a good situation going there. And, at the end of the day, you can't take anybody for granted. And that's the whole point is how hard we have to work. We've got to prepare every opponent like it's a championship game. And so that's what we do. We're ready for them. Again, we talked about, but they have some good players. They did a good job with recruiting. It's going to be fun. Like I said, I've never got to play them. So I'm, all the stuff, the banter that we've had back and forth the last couple of years, we finally get to settle it on the field the way it should be settled. So super excited. I know Coach is super excited as well. So we'll see them in a couple of days. So when you're not playing a guy, like, do you do film on teams that you're not playing right then? Like, have you done film on Oregon in the past, or has this week been the Oregon film week?
I try to watch as many games as I can fit in my tiny bit of free time. But I've watched a few of their games. I wanted to watch, Dalton Cole. I had spoke to Dalton
I like
Cole.
The way he plays.
I like the way he plays. At the end of last season, when he heard Sam was moving up, we had a conversation.
Spoilers.
But at the end of the day, I'm going to watch everybody. I want to know. But obviously, we're into coaching mode right now with breaking down their film. They've only played one game, which again, it makes it a little tougher. We've got a little bit more continuity going. We've executed a little more than they've have. So, but like I said, it's going to be fun. And finally, they get to face the champs. I love it.
I do love it. I love that Mother Flocker has answered a question that I know everyone's going to ask. She said, "No watch party Saturday nights past our bedtimes. We'll all be watching, but in our own PJs."
I think that's smart. I think it's smart, but the broadcast is going to be much better. Oregon does have all of their AI cameras set up. They've got everything, so the broadcast will be a lot better. That was just another thing that just kind of disappointed me is, we should be coming off the field. We should be talking about another dominant performance by the Firebirds. Again, offensively being efficient, defense getting after the passer, all these things. And I got to my phone. There's like 150 text messages, and they're all on how poor the broadcast was. So, like I said, there was some unfortunate incidents that happened that made that broadcast. I was glad the league said something. Like I said, we've got a really good system in place that's only going to get better. And so, like I said, that hurt me a little bit. It's I want to talk about just how well we played. I didn't want to talk about the broadcast, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, and for those that are unaware, there was quite a few issues that took place, but the weather was the ultimate destroyer of bandwidth. So AI cameras need bandwidth, not just to process the information, but to process how they work. So it wasn't great. I will tell you this, that I was in the third circle of hell during that game. I was at Fenway Park.
Must be nice.
Whoa, not Fenway Park. Oh, easy. You can go to my place anytime you want. I did that because the big boss over at Hooters is my buddy Boston Dan, and he said, if you want a watch party and your draft party at Hooters, you got to go to Fenway. So I sacrificed. I did this for you. I did this.
Okay.
I did this for you. But I also was sitting. So as I'm sitting with Hooters management and I'm watching that, I go, "Hey, let's swipe a card." I sent 6 pitchers of beer to the Flock watch party. I got a little thumbs up. I like that. There you go.
I love it though.
I just it's, hey, look, we all have a role to play in all this. And as Modus, I felt the way I managed a bad broadcast was make sure everybody saw it with foggy eyes.
Right. There you go.
So it's and I talked to everybody in Beaumont, and they couldn't be more upset about it themselves. They hold you mentioned the new field. They hold themselves to a high standard. They're working on everything as we speak, and that's our only game there. So they got plenty of time to get it right before we go there again. But
what a nice fan base. I tell you, they were so nice talking to me. I'm so used to just blocking everybody out, but they were so nice where I was having conversations in between plays. It was different. There was one time during the game, I'm on the headset and I'm like, guys, I can hear myself breathe. like everything I say, they can probably hear it. I'm like, this is a little eerie, but they were so nice. Like they quieted down for the plays and then they clapped after. It was, like I said, very good fan base. I hope they could get everything, worked out. And like I said, it was a very good arena, very good field. So I would look forward to playing there in the future with a good broadcast.
I just imagine the trash talk in Beaumont. Pardon me, sir. I don't mean to disrupt you in any way, shape, or form from what you're doing, but boo.
That's about how it felt. I was like, yeah, these people are so nice. Even afterwards, the guy was at our post-game meal. He was just so nice. I was like, God, this is eerie to me. I'm used to the cold shoulder and, you don't want to give me anything because we won. And they were super nice people. It was their game day staff, super nice, hey, we'll take your tickets to Will happily. They had a bunch of really good people. And I will say that was the treatment there was Really, that was first class.
All right. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer a very polite environment, or do you want special delivery Mike who is making signs, wearing shirts, and yelling things about your grandmother?
I want that all day. That motivates me too. You know, like we were talking at the beginning. I like that motivation too. So I love it when there's something in the game that just rubs me wrong, because that just makes it personal. And so it could be something a coach said in the media. It could be something some coach said to me at the league meetings. It could be some coach that I just don't really care for. It could be whatever. And when I have those things, I feel, you know, my energy is just like how I was as a player. It's like, my pores are open. I'm sweating. And I love that feeling, and that feeling just never dies. And so I like those things too. So like I said, anytime I can find something, that helps me obviously be a little bit more motivated. And I do take things personal. So, but I'm just quiet about it. So I sit there in these meetings and listen to all of everybody talk. We're going to beat Albany. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm, okay. Got you. And then on the game field, I'm going to try to put up 100. It just the way it goes. So I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't talk to me so much, but.
So who do you hate? You say you don't like some of the coaches. God, tell us. Come on, it's just our friends. Nobody's watching. It's just a couple thousand viewers.
I don't want them to know, because then they'll be, you know, they'll switch up some things. I want them to stay just the way they are, just so I have a little more motivation. So we'll see them on game nights.
I love it. All right, so we're getting ready for you guys to travel to Oregon to take on the Lightning, going squatching, as the other Jeff would say. Is there any roster changes that you can tell us about, or anything that you're ready to make public as far as roster goes?
Yeah, we had to make a couple changes. So we've definitely had a little bit of injury bug. So we've put a couple people on IR. That's going to take a couple weeks to return. So we had to sign some new people. We brought in Lorenzo Jones, a defensive back out of Minnesota State, doing a great job, great attitude, just fired up, just running around like he's got a fresh leg. So that was obviously really good. And then we finally signed a second quarterback. I know we've been living on dangerous times. I've kind of been waiting for some things to happen. And so we signed a new kid.
I'm ready.
And
I'm more of a runner.
Yeah, no, his name is
I was so ready. Thank you.
His name's Eric Phoenix out of South Carolina State.
That's my stage name, just so everybody knows.
Really good kid.
Wait a minute. No. The Albany Firebirds did not sign a dude named Phoenix.
Absolutely.
He probably can't even play. You just like the name. What's his number? What's his number? Because I feel like a lot of people are going to have Phoenix jerseys coming up.
I don't
very
know
soon.
what we're going to put him in. I'll wait. He'll be here first thing tomorrow morning. So we'll get him dialed in as quickly as we can and just kind of move forward from there. But super excited to get him. He's just a very good kid. I know Super Dave will look up all the stats and post those. So I won't waste my time to tell you the stats. Dave got that. So
I'll have you know.
I'll leave it at that. Dave, you got this.
As a fan, I'll tell you that his name is Phoenix, but it's actually based on the city, not the bird. Also, he once wore 2 mislength shoelaces, which caused him to run faster somehow. But that's just Firebird Dave W. over here. That's what I do.
Love you, Dave.
But he
two
got
things
it,
you can count on. Dave Williams knows everything, and Tommy Gross will beat me to events. Those are 2 things I know.
You got it. But no, Dave will have all the stats and everything. His picture posted up in the Albany Firebird Nation. Dave, you got that? I'm sure we'll have it up by the time we end the show. So I appreciate you.
Somewhere he's very happy that he just got that shout out. Somewhere he's very, very happy. We're live here at Buddy's Flock University. The professor Damon Ware with us. Big 2-0 to start the season. 2 big wins. 2 former champs found out what an AF1 champion looks like. Oregon's about to get their first glimpse of what this team is, and got to go all the way there to get to it. When you look through the league, have you had I know you've been very busy traveling. You mentioned some roster differences. When you look through, is there something on like each roster that stands out to you? Like something where you go, well, Oregon's defense is this, and Michigan is, besides Michigan, by the way, just debuted their field online. It
Beautiful.
Looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, looks beautiful. We'll get a chance to play on that field this year. So super excited about that. And another fun owner, like I said, at the league meetings, him and I jabbed each other back and forth.
I don't think he likes me.
But I'm looking forward to that. Again, I'm really a just take 1 week at a time guy. I don't really look too far ahead. I'm going to watch all the games. And so I will get a slight opinion of just about everybody. But ultimately, like I said, I don't much worry about what other teams are doing. I like to look at personnel. I go down everybody's roster and look up everybody's highlights and things to kind of understand what it is they're working with. But my true thing is you need to stop us. It's not us having to stop you as much. I want to put you in a position where your time will be spent. How do you figure out how to stop us on both sides of the ball? So we're high-paced, again, very, very tough and physical style of football. And at that point, like I said, you need to figure out how you're going to stop us. And it's execution-based. And so that's what we want to do, just execute good football. If we can execute exactly the plays that we're dialing up and calling in a game, we feel that we'll be in every single game.
If you were scouting the Firebirds, which unit makes you which unit you put more work into right now? That defense or that offense? Not bad for media boy.
If I was another coach, I know what the thought would be is, all right, we've got a rookie quarterback, so we'll spend more time trying to dissect the defense. Like I said, do that. Do that.
By the way, I talked to the guy who's the head of stats for the AF1, and Josh Kulka did in fact have 8 touchdowns. 8.
Yeah.
8 in week 2.
Yeah, like I said, stats are important to these kids as far as just moving up and those kind of things. So I love that the league always fixes things. We've got a couple things fixed, and they've been great to work with as far as that. But yeah, like I said, we had. I can tell you all the touchdowns. DT had 3. Tyrese Chambers had 3, and Isaiah Scott had 2 touchdowns. So that's 8 right there. So real easy if you just asked me.
Yeah. Why are you looking at me? I don't know anything about it. I don't know. I will say also, again, spoke to the guy who does the stats for the league, and he said we've had some of the Firebirds players message the stat people very respectfully, though. I will say, I mean, he told me that the guy who does the stats, apparently, by the way, the last S in Modus might be stats now. Listen, I'm making sure they're right. That's all I can tell you. I don't know if I want our guys to know that I have now taken over the stat department for the AF1. Like, I feel like
they know now.
Yeah, well, I feel like I've said it before, but yeah. So just so you guys are aware, obviously, stats are a super important thing when it comes to sports. Like, winning's the most important thing, but after that, like, if these guys, there's one of the reasons Sam Castronova is playing at Houston right now is he lit the league on fire, and they can look at those numbers. And one of the reasons that a lot of these guys will either be back here or go to another level is they're in a league on fire. So we have people who stat every game, and then all the stats come to me, and I see if they're right. And I thought that was going to be a lot less work. But
Modus.
Yeah. That's it. Mike Court is taking advantage of the Modus title. I just want to be clear, Mike, if you're watching, you're taking advantage. But no, it's just it's one of those things. Like I jokingly posted not too long ago, like I had a Thanos moment. I'll bleep it. I'll do it myself. And everybody in the league was like, they were thrilled to have the help. So that is something we're doing to make sure our guys are taken care of, and every guy in this league, because it's not just the Birds, it's the Lightning. And I'd love to see Dalton Cole flinging the ball, at another level at some point and everything. So
isn't it really cool that younger Kolka is just outplaying? Never mind. That's why you come to Auburn.
All right, let's have this conversation. Let's have this conversation. Tommy Grady and you back in 21. Tommy Grady lit the league on fire. Now, Tommy's a great quarterback. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but I felt like I saw a different version of Tommy. I felt like he really enjoyed the offense that you put together. Mike Faithful, even though he didn't have a great game in 22, he threw for 300 yards on a 50-yard field before he left town. Sam Castronova came off his worst year in Carolina and is an MVP. Now, and I'm sorry, our guy Medlock, who you've had amazing success with, he comes back. He was playing with one leg for a while and was outstatting most of the league. Now we've got the youngest Kulka, or was it Kulcha? What were they calling him in Beaumont? It was Kuka. I don't know where they got it from, but they I couldn't get to them to fix it. But how much pride do you take in the fact that these guys are flourishing so well under your tutelage?
I love it. like I said, at the end of the day, it's, you know, you've got to find the right people that fits your culture, that fits just kind of your mindset. And all of these quarterbacks have done such a phenomenal job. I mean, you know, Tommy Grady was a future Hall of Famer, no matter what, coming into the system, but we worked a very different system that he'd never worked. And, you know, that took its time to us to develop that kind of relationship. And again, I love Tommy and what we did as well. You know, Sam coming in and, you know, like I said, he hates when I call him a rookie, but yeah, you played a couple games in Carolina and we're out of there. So I still call him a rookie when he was here in 22. You know, just the battle again, kind of the battle that we've had this year with our quarterbacks that are just really close. And, you know, him and Faithful were very, very close. And you would think that a kid that played Division I football and had a championship under his belt that would be further ahead. And those are those tough things. And sometimes when you challenge, you know, people that are playing at a high level, or at least they think they're playing at a high level, some of them are going to rise to the occasion and some of them won't. So I was super excited to get Sam going in 22 and go through the growing pains and ultimately win a championship. That was exciting. Obviously, we had 23 that would have, you know, I think would have ended up no different than any other year. Skip through that year and then to 24, go with Jake that I had in 2018, where we did some really good things in another league. And, you know, him coming in and just, you know, kind of trusting the process and, you know, just getting in where he fits in and doing his thing. And he did a phenomenal job, obviously. And, you know, like I said, just getting to the championship game and just all those little bits and pieces of things that went wrong, just that game still haunts me. I still think about that game every now and again. It just it breaks my heart.
You weren't drinking Japanese tequila.
No, I wasn't.
It haunted me for days. A lot of porcelain.
I believe
time.
that. I've never even heard of Japanese tequila, but anyway,
never saw it again. Never will.
But you know, and then again to go back 25 and get Sam back here and have a great season and go undefeated. That's huge. And see, you know, some other, you know, higher level leagues start to take notice of him. That's great. And then this year, not knowing, you know, what would happen with him and having a battle with three quarterbacks and seeing, you know, Josh beat out Rob and, you know, in the grades and, you know, and then Sam get a call back and then he starts the first week, you know, all these things are just incredible moments and, you know, in just Firebirds history. But, you know, again, I love working with Josh too, is just, he wants to be good. He wants to be great. We talk every day. We, you know, we're dial in all these things. And again, we communicate very well together. So I love Josh. And like I said, my motivation for him now is just be better than your brother. You know, let's just be better. And if we can see him in the championship, let's beat him. You know, so we've got some fun little stuff that we talk about. Obviously, they have a great relationship. So, and again, I spent some time trying to recruit Tyler a couple of years ago before he went to Japan. So I've known, you know, like I said, they've got a great family. Obviously, their dad is you know, it would be so cool to be his dad, just to you know, to understand both your sons are playing at a high level and all those. Like I said, there's just so many fun storylines, but at the end of the day, you know, it's next man up. So Sam goes off and I, you know, like I said, I want him to do well because that makes all of us look good. You know, if he can go out there and continue his success. And again, those are life-changing moments for him. And we love those things. And again, if it's Josh's turn and he's the next man up, then let's go win a championship with the next guy. And like I said, these are motivational things for coaching staffs too, is, you know, like I said, to win with a rookie is hard. And so to start the season beating two other champions with a rookie quarterback that didn't know he was going to start until a couple days before a game, I find that to be super cool. And like I said, love the development. And just like I said, it takes its time, but just wait and see how this team looks by the end of the season.
Absolutely. You know, these quarterbacks, sometimes they come back to haunt you. And you mentioned the real McCoy. He's playing like 4 positions in Oregon. He knows, I mean, obviously he doesn't know everything you know, but he knows what you've taught him. Does he cause any kind of new concerns for this week?
Nope. Like I said, I'll hand you my playbook and you got to stop it. So I never, you know, he's going to know a little bit. He'll have some ideas. He's probably got pictures of stuff that we do on his phone. I really just, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, I try to get Rob back, and I probably haven't told the story, but we're going to work, and so I'm gonna tell the story anyway.
I like this.
So like I said,
this is a Flock exclusive. Sorry.
You know, just the whirlwind of events that happened in this sport. So, boom, you know, here it is, a Monday night. The stuff starts with the UFL. I get the text, you know, from the GM. This is all going. Now, mind you, I just traded Rob the day before or that day? The day before. So I just traded Rob the day before to Oregon. He's scheduled to fly on Monday night. So all this happens with Sam. So I call Oregon. I said, hey, I traded him in good faith. I didn't ask for anything in return. I want the best players to play in our league. And so I'm helpful that way. So I say, hey, Sam's leaving. I'd really like Rob back. I think he helps us. And so can I get him back? He's not been to a meeting. He hasn't touched down. He's in the air at the time. I found a flight. He would literally get off the plane, turn right around, go right to another gate and get on a flight. I'm being dead serious. So we had all this planned out.
It's a button hook.
So I called the other owner and I hey, I sent him to you in good faith. He hasn't took a meeting. He doesn't know anything about your team, hasn't looked at your playbook, nothing. Can I have a kid back? And I said, I will send you another player. I'll owe you one, whatever. And I said, no, you don't have to do it. I'm not saying you have to do it. And I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, whether you say no. So he was like, all right, well, give me some time. So he said, got to get my coach staff together. I got to do what I got to do. So Anyway, it took way longer than I thought this would have taken. So I knew at that point they were going to tell me no. So it was, you know, so I seen the number come up. Hey, what's going on? I think we're going to keep him. And I just was like, man, like, you know, I'm always so helpful. Everybody, I send players around. I do that. And I was just like, you just motivated me for the game. So thank you. Okay, cool. Keep him. Let's go, you know, and that the rest is history. So I said, we'll settle that out on the field. You know, like I said, and my thing was I was trying to get Rob to a place that he would be able to compete for the job. And like I said, so now he's in the situation and backing up. There was another team I tried to send Rob to that said no, and I said their quarterback's not looking so good. But anyway, I'll save that for next week. Oh, did I say Washington? Oh, my fault. My fault. I didn't mean to blurt that out. You know, I'm very straightforward. So anyway, we'll save that for next week's Flock U. But we'll just continue on. Like I said, I love the motivation. So I'm motivated again. We're going out to Oregon. Can't wait. You know, I'm a West Coast guy. You know, born on the West Coast, so you know I don't get back to the West Coast very often. So looking forward to it. It'll be a fun trip.
I used to do a version of this show with a different person, and they just like lighting things on fire. You are not that guy, so you're run. Just run. Just run. Going squatching and wolf hunting, man. This is gonna be
a couple weeks. West Coast, here we come.
All right. I'm trying to figure like it's a rare moment when I'm not the troublemaker. Look at you. I'm so proud. All right. So we've got an idea of what's coming. We've got an idea of where we've been. We are live at Muddy's, and you know we love being here at Muddy's. Some of the best food and people you're going to hang out with here at Muddy's. Let's do it. Let's do questions from the flock. And if any of your questions are about broadcasts that had already happened, I'm not here for you. I'm not going to deal with it. We already talked about it. So if you've got new questions, Alan Silly, Japanese tequila is not paint thinner. I would have rather drank paint thinner. It was kind of crazy. But any questions here? Anybody who
and you drank that at a mall?
In frosty drinks. They were in the whatever you could get, those frozen drinks you can get from Auntie Anne's pretzels. That was what. Listen, it was really hot in there. I had to survive. I'm very delicate. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm very delicate. All right. Denise said my impression of Dave Williams is spot on. Hey, look, Dave Williams is my uncle's name. Is your uncle a super fan who knows more about arena football than anyone not named Tim Capper? Because that could be your uncle. So looking for questions from the flock. Anybody here got questions? Look at you guys. Oh, the mouths are full. I like it. Sam, you got a question? Is it a real question or is it Hey, Ben. Yes, he's a pest. I know. You don't have to say it out loud. We're doing. All right, we're looking for questions. Denise, it was hot in there, Jeff. I'm glad you pay attention to your hydration. Thank you, Mother Flocker. We appreciate it.
Japanese tequila. I'm not sure that would be on the list of hydration drinks, but I will let you have that one.
You got to take what's available.
Yeah, I got it.
I mean,
there was ice in it, right?
Oh yeah, that's funny.
There you go.
I do want to point out, like, it's one thing to have a championship in a dry mall. It's a whole nother thing to be part of the organization that did that and then go to a new organization and do it again. That is the definition of insanity. And if you don't know, there is someone who wants to do it. It's stupid. All right. I'm looking here. I see. I do want to point out too that we talked about Chef and how much it's been great things you've done. These players are always raving about flock support and the player bags, the adoption that you guys do. It's always great. We really, really appreciate you guys and what you do for the fans. It's been great. The amount of people referencing Japanese tequila in the comments now. I can't help you anymore.
You start.
Well, you
start some stuff.
Trust me, I finished it. All right. Well, I think we're good. I don't think Godzilla Aid is what they're calling Japanese tequila and frosty drinks. What do you got?
The stat page shows score from Beaumont. It's been having 26, and everybody's saying 27%.
I will have to look at it even deeper. I believe that there was that the stat page on the af1.com is correct. The live one. The gentleman who statted that game for me did the best that they could. Good? Was that
soft?
Was that smooth enough?
Yeah,
was that smooth enough? I will tell you that there was an email sent out from the guy who runs stats saying, I really appreciate all your hard work, but be better. I will say the Kentucky staff's doing a great job. And even Beaumont. Like, Beaumont had a lot of challenges going on with their tech department and with the weather and all that. So everybody's fighting, everybody's doing what they can do to get things right. And we will get them all right. I promise you that. I kind of want to ask this one. How would you rank the various indoor leagues in terms of class? Any opinions on the international league? I'll do the indoor if you want, and then you want to do the international, because I don't feel like you should say the indoor one.
Yeah, we'll do it.
There are 3 reigning champions in the AF1 this season. There's the AF1 reigning champion and 2 other reigning champions. The AF1 reigning champion is 2-0 against the other reigning champions. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about the hierarchy of arena football, I don't know how to help you. I will tell you that indoor football is not arena football, and it has its place, and it's fun if you like that. But I feel like arena football is tougher. The nets make it a different game, and the rules on the defense make it much tougher to play defense in our league, and that is why the AF1 is the top league. Then I would go with that other one that plays indoor, not in arenas, and then everyone else.
Sounds good.
Sorry, I just had one of those. I just had a Happy Gilmore moment. Sorry. What's that? You got a question? Do we have any word on Henry Nell's return or not return?
Just not something I can speak about. So,
yeah, there are laws and rules that regulate what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say. International game. International game. Where do we stand?
International Arena League. How can I describe that? They did play their first games this past weekend. They were wearing practice jerseys. So that was interesting. Obviously, I know a lot of the players, so they did not have equipment until like an hour before the game. That's an interesting
straight Hormuz.
So you practiced in shorts and T-shirts, and then right before the game, you were given a helmet and shoulder pads. That's a little interesting. But they did play a couple games. There have been a lot of cancellations, and yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting one. You know, for me, I'm always want everything to succeed if it's something football related, because one thing crashing inadvertently always affects the rest of us. So when I heard all the things, but the challenges of playing in international and going across, you know, country lines and all the stuff that it takes to do that, that's a lot of moving parts. And there's so many. You think about us, how many moving parts do we have on a weekly basis that we're running around crazy for? That would add another element that would just be really, really difficult. Now, if they started an arena league just in Europe and they played just in Europe and they did one just in the United States and did one just in the United States, and then maybe the champions played each other, that'd probably be something that would be a little bit more feasible. But, you know, they've got a lot of challenges they've got to figure out. You know, I've watched a couple of their broadcasts and things that they say, and it's just awkward. What I just don't want is it to end up being a black eye for football, because everybody thinks inside football is all the same. And so that's the trouble, is we're not all the same. Indoor football is very different than arena football, and some leagues are very different than others. And just because they have arena in the name doesn't necessarily mean they're really arena. So they didn't have nets. They don't have, which all of those things make it something different. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm always going to be positive. I hope nobody doesn't get paid. I hope no bills get left. I hope no sponsors get dogged out, because it just consistently gives a black eye, and the rest of us suffer the pains of that when we do it the right way. So I'll leave it at that.
Love it. Here's a question from Paul, and I can answer this one. Any update on the Outlaws? Are they ever coming back from the grave? Was literally speaking to the owner of the Outlaws earlier today. And I will say never, but he said it would have to be the perfect opportunity. Everything would have to be just right, because he was close before and it didn't go the way he wanted. So never say never, but as of right now, I wouldn't go get an Outlaws jersey at the moment.
Correct.
I would move over to the Firebirds if I were you. Chef M Hat, if I swear to God, if we do another championship in a dry mall, Chef is going to open a can of whoop ass. I would have shared the Japanese tequila with you, Chef. I would have. I mean, I would have. I didn't. Not
right.
Who's
she didn't get any Japanese tequila?
I'm just saying. I get home. I get home every day from work around 7:30. There's never a Chef box lunch for me. I'm just saying. Who's mad at who? Who's mad at who?
Ooh, we're slinging mud. Okay.
She's got one in her car. See, I knew what I was doing. Why do you think I complain about the bags all the time? I get what I get. I know my people. All right, we're live here, live at Muddy's. I think that's it. Unless there's any more questions in here, I think. Oh, of course there is. Special delivery, Mike. So Will Cavanis is our kicker right now, who's I think his game 1 to 2 was amazing. The question was, he doesn't consistently hit the nets. Does that give you any pause?
I will say, look at all the kickers, and there's not as many hitting the net. The ball is definitely different from last year, and I think we went through this between 21 and 22. When they make subtle changes to the ball, it changes a lot of things for the kickers and the quarterbacks. There's been a lot of balls that have fallen short of the net, and we know we want to use that net. And so we're working on some different ways to make sure that we're able to use the net. I think, and like I said, the cool part for Will was he was hitting them off the net late in the game. And so usually your leg is going to get a little more tired, but his leg was getting stronger, which was very, very positive. We hit the net a few times, obviously, in Beaumont. Will is just a phenomenally accurate kicker, and he's young. And so everything is perfect. If I tell him to aim at something on the field, he can hit it 9 out of 10 times. So his accuracy is phenomenal. His trajectory is just, again, it's very consistent. And so in that, he's, and we're working on some different trajectories. And that's the one thing between the young kickers and the old is they have a few more tricks in the bag. Will is going to be great. He is a phenomenal kicker. He's a phenomenal young man.
Yes.
He smiles all day, every day, the most helpful kid. Like I said, at the end of the day, he's going to be just fine. just like anybody else. A quarterback, a receiver, a rookie coming in, there's going to be the challenges, but we're going to get it right. He's got a powerful enough leg. Now it's just figuring out some trajectory things, but Will's going to do a fine job. He's done a fine job for us thus far.
One more question I see from our friends, The Nest, part of the Albany Firebirds Media Network. Has everyone enjoyed our flockumentary series Opportunity Knocks so far? Island. What's that?
No.
The narrator sucks. He's the worst. I heard him. I was like, that guy's a wannabe Levack.
Like I said, we're trying to get more stuff for people to be involved behind the scenes, and so it's hard to figure out what to edit out, what to say, what to put on, what not to put on. All those things are hard because you can't show too much because it obviously shows the things that we're doing. But obviously, Chris and his team have just done a phenomenal job of putting all this together, doing the editing, doing all that. Like I said, they're just growing, just like the rest of us. Just every time they do something, they want to get better at it. And so I've loved what we've done. It's been fun. It's so many people have called me and just like, it's cool to see some of the behind the scenes stuff. So just having fun. And we're just doing it for our flock. We want you guys to have as much content, as much things to look at throughout the week that we can give you. So we've got a show on Monday night. We're putting out the Opportunity Knocks on Tuesday, and then obviously Flock You on Wednesday. So trying to give you guys a full week of Firebirds, obviously through the season, and hope that gets you to get all your friends and family to the game.
Love it. Lou from Cagino's. Can't wait to see you guys at Cagino's. The guys are getting their dinner from Cagino's tomorrow. If everybody give a quick Lou for everybody. 1, 2, 3. Lou. We love you, buddy. We appreciate everything. Absolutely. All right, we're here at The Nest says they're holding auditions for the narrator. I think Mother Flocker. I think Denise should do it. I think she'd be great.
I want to see you be the one to ask her to do it.
I just think that the coach Ware is a great coach. And all right, everybody, we're live at Muddy's, and I'm going to get some food, man. I love the food here at Muddy's. I think everybody should come here and eat if you haven't yet, and if you have, you already know that you should definitely come here to enjoy. Let's get a round of applause for the great people working here at Muddy's tonight.
Go see Uncle Ed.
Yes, Eddie and Chris are I just literally heard from Eddie during the show. They're fighting. They're doing great things. So make sure you take good care of them. The best way to do that, come here for dinner. For Eddie and Chris, we love them. Their family. We love the flock. You guys are family. You're not fans. You're family. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Give it up for the flock. Not you, Sam. Not you. Not you, Sam. He is the head coach, the professor, the general manager of your undefeated Albany Firebirds, Damon Ware, everybody. I am the manager of all the other stuff. I'm Jeff Levack. Smattering. I'll take it. Smattering. I'll take it.
I love it.
We cannot end a single class of Flock University without those two simple words. 1, 2, 3. Flock you.